El Filibusterismo in 1946. So on July 4, 1946, the Philippines was officially recognized as an independent republic by the United States after decades of colonial rule. So this came after the devastation of World War II, where the country suffered massive destruction, especially during the Japanese colonization. So after that, we have the post-war recovery, including reclaiming cultural treasures. So after the war, many cities were left in ruins, many archives were damaged, and also cultural institutions struggling from that war. So recovery wasn't just about rebuilding roads and buildings; it was also about reclaiming Filipino identity, such as recovering important artifacts, and also including the Rizal's novels or manuscripts. So by that time, artists, writers, and educators began to revive the national symbols, stories, and also important artifacts. So Rizal's work symbolized national identity and resistance. So we all know Jose Rizal's writings, especially the Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, became powerful tools for rebuilding national consciousness. El El Filibusterismo and the return of the Rizal's manuscripts in 1946. So when the Philippines gained independence in 1946, at that same year, Rizal's manuscripts were quietly returned to the National Library of the Philippines, which is located at the Rizal Park in Calao Avenue, Manila City. So this was done under a no publicity, no question policy. So it means no press coverage, no official statements, and no investigation into how or where the manuscripts had been kept during the war. So why they are being so secretive about it? The goal was not to steer controversy, but to protect and preserve what remained of Rizal's legacy. So that is their main goal. So quiet but crucial move to protect the national heritage. The preservation efforts. So efforts were made to preserve the manuscripts of Jose Rizal. So as you can see at the picture, manuscript placed in rare books and manuscript section of the National Library. So it was glass encased locked, so ensured safekeeping for future generations, because these novels are essential for future generations because they serve as powerful tools for historical awareness, civic education, and cultural identity. So reinforce Rizal's role as a foundation of Filipino nationalism. That means his ideas live on, guiding how Filipinos understand freedom, justice, and national pride. The centennial celebration in June 1961. So the Philippines marked the 100th birth anniversary of Dr. Jose Rizal, the national hero, with a historic centennial celebration that placed his literary and revolutionary legacy. So as part of the centennial events, the National Library of the Philippines and other cultural institutions organized a public exhibition of Rizal's most iconic works, including the three works Noli Me Tangere, El Filibusterismo, Mi Ultimo Adios. So the Mi Ultimo Adios, Rizal's final poem, actually he wrote this on the eve of his execution, expressing love for country and sacrifice. So these manuscripts were displayed at the National Library to view the actual handwriting and original pages of the novels. The exhibition drew large crowds, including students, educators, historians, and ordinary citizens. So for them, it was a rare opportunity to engage directly with the Rizal's famous novels. Threats and triumphs of preservation. So in 1961, what was meant to be a proud celebration of Dr. Jose Rizal's 100th birth anniversary turned into a national crisis. So, unfortunately, when three of his original manuscripts were stolen from a public exhibition, so this was on December 8, 1961, the incident shocked the country and raised many people raised urgent questions about the security of the manuscripts, because as you can see in the picture, it is glass encased locked, so it was really secure. So later on, the thieves actually sent a ransom letter demanding a payment in return for the manuscripts. So they tried to negotiate when in fact they only stole it, and they tried to make money out of it. But after months of negotiations, it was returned on February 9, 1962 to the National Library under confidential circumstances. So it means they didn't disclose who were the thieves and no further information about the issue. So this situation echoed the earlier no publicity, no question policy used in 1946 when Rizal's works were returned after the World War II. Later on, the manuscripts and the possession of the National Library were reported to be decaying, so it is a threat of being lost forever. But with the help of our friend, the country Germany, in 2011, the restoration was made possible, and it was funded by the German government as a gesture of cultural respect and friendship. Because there are certain challenges in preserving the manuscripts at the National Library, such as the Rizal's manuscripts needed to be stored at 18 to 20 degrees Celsius in controlled humidity to prevent further deterioration. And at that time, the National Library, their lack consistent of climate control, which made the restoration even more urgent. So who lead the restoration of Rizal's manuscripts? Two professional conservators were Claudio Fabian and Angela Seigel from the German Literature Archive in Marbach, Germany. So they work in coordination with the National Library of the Philippines. So this project wasn't just about preserving papers, it was about protecting national identity and legacy. Rizal's writings are foundational to Filipino history, and this international effort showed how deeply his influence is respected beyond the Philippines. So overall, El Filibusterismo, Jose Rizal's sequel to Noling Me Tangere, presents a darker, more urgent critique of Spanish colonial rule. So through the character of Simon, Rizal exposes the corruption, injustice, and the failure of reform. Dedicated to the martyred priests Comborza, Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora, the novel calls for change and warns of revolution. Its themes of oppression, sacrifice, and awakening reflect the Filipino struggle for identity and independence. So, despite the censorship and threats, the novel endured preserved, exhibited, and restored across decades. So, El Filibusterismo remains a powerful literary force, shaping national consciousness and inspiring generations to pursue justice through education and civic action. So thank you everyone for listening. So that's all for the Group 6 representation of El Filibusterismo.